Welcome, my dear students. So in this lecture, we are going to be installing MongoDB in a Windows operating system, okay? So let's go and jump into Windows and let's do this. So I got a Windows computer right here, Windows 10 to be exact, and we are going to be installing MongoDB here. So I'm gonna go to the browser, and I already had it installed, but I deleted it and I only installed it so that way I can show you how to do it from scratch, okay? So I'm gonna go to Google real quick, my best friend, and I'm gonna type in MongoDB download community. Well, I didn't have to type it, it auto completed it for me. And I'm gonna go to the download center, and I'm gonna press on the server tab, and you can see here the current release is 4.2 at the moment, okay? I'm gonna download the package, and then I'm going to, once I download it, this is just like any other program, just keep installing it with the default settings. So you're gonna see how I do it. Let's go back here, nets, accept the terms, nets, complete. You can see some data here, not to worry too much about this. Nets, install MongoDB Compass, okay? Compass is a GUI, is a graphical user interface for MongoDB. All right, very similar, for those of you that know about PHP, very similar to PHP admin, okay? You're gonna be able to see your data with this. So yes, I wanna install it because I'm gonna show you how to use it later. Nets, and install it, okay? This is gonna take a couple minutes. Do not worry too much about it. I'm gonna say yes here. And once it's done, then we are golden. We just need to do a couple different configurations real quick just to make things easier after the install, but it's gonna be awesome. So I'm gonna pause the video. It's gonna be a second for you, but this is really gonna take around 2 minutes, okay? I'll see you in a second. So my installation just finished, and I'm just gonna click finish, and it's going to be launching the Compass, okay? This is the GUI interface. So we can use this, but you know, it's not very useful when we are doing certain things, okay? I'm gonna show you first how to use the shell, and later on I'm gonna show you how to use this. So basically we are going to be using the MongoDB shell to learn a couple commands that are going to be very useful when we start learning how the API of MongoDB works, okay? So that's one of the reasons why we're gonna be using the shell now. Now you can go ahead and use this, connect it right away and start playing around with it, but I suggest you turn it off now and let's continue configuring this stuff, okay? So we are not done yet. So the next thing we do need to do is create some directories. So I'm gonna go to command prompt again, and I'm gonna do MD here. I'm gonna type in this \data. This is going to create a data directory in your computer, and it's going to create it in this / okay, a location. Now keep in mind that I already have it, so I'm gonna get an error. You see, it says that it already exists. Now you do it in your end, and you should be good. So MD / or \, I'm sorry, data DB. We're gonna create the other one, and that one already exists on my end. So once you create those two directories, the data and the DB inside the data, you're good to go. Now all we have to do is do Mongo. Well, actually not yet, okay? Because what we want to do is we want to be able to access MongoDB from anywhere in our computer. So right now we need to type in something like this to access it. You know, like we need to type in the whole path, program files, then we need to go to MongoDB, then after that I think it's server, then the version, then the bin directory, then MongoDB, whatever, like this, something like this. Okay, very similar to this. This is what we need to type in order to turn this on every time we need, from the shell, of course, okay? Because right now, if I wanted to turn on MongoDB from interface or the operating system, I can. So if I wanted to turn on MongoDB, which is not turned on right now, I can turn it on by going to the C drive. Go to the C drive right here, program files, MongoDB, server, the version, bin, and then I can just click on MongoD. You see the little leaf? That means it's an application. So if this is the logo for MongoDB, the little leaf, but this is an application. So if I double click it, it's gonna turn it on. But that's not what I want. I want to be able to turn it on from the shell anytime I want, just because we need to use the shell. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna turn it off by closing it. But that's how we access it from here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you again. There we go. That's on, and you can see the little cursor blinking right here. That means it is on. Let me actually right click on this, properties, font, and I'm gonna make this 28. That's huge. All right, you see the little thing blinking? That means it's on. Okay, it's waiting for connections. And I can go ahead and use the shell by going to Mongo right here. This is the application too. This is these two applications that we need. MongoD is the server to turn it on, and this is the Mongo shell. So I'm gonna click it, and you can see now that we are inside some type of program. You can see the little cursor blinking and little greater than symbol. Okay, now this sucks because I have to go ahead and do this again. Okay, so if I do this, show DBS, you can see that it shows me all the databases there. Okay, so by default it has the admin, the config, and the local. Okay, so I can find Compass. If I search for Compass right here and I open it up, you can see those databases. All right, so I gotta wait a little bit. Okay, but anyway, so it's loading. It's going to show me the databases. Like if I go to connect with all the default settings, it's gonna show me the database, admin, config, and local, just like our shell. Okay, our shell shows us the same databases. So what we are going to be doing is, what I want to do, I'm gonna close it down, and the way we do that here on the shell, we can close it here, but I like to do it here. Control C. Let's actually close it here because I opened it up with the user interface with this one here. So I got to close it here. And I'm going to close all these windows. Okay, all of it. So what I want to do is I want to be able to access MongoDB from the shell, from here, from my command prompt. I want to be able to do something like this, Mongo, okay, D, and turn it on instead of writing the whole path or going to the, through here. I don't want to do that. So in order for us to do that, we have to get the path where that program is located, and we have to add it to our environment variables. So I'm going to go to Program Files, MongoDB, Server 4.2, bin, and this is where those two file applications are, MongoD and Mongo, right? So I'm going to click here. I'm going to right click to copy it. I'm going to go back to my computer. I'm going to look for my environment variables screen right here. I'm going to go to environment variables. I'm going to edit the user variables, the path variable, edit. I'm going to add a new one. I'm going to paste that path in here. Now I have the path. I have this path here. Okay, that means that wherever I am in my computer, okay, wherever I am, if I open command prompt somewhere, anywhere, and I type in MongoD, it's gonna turn on my server. Now, if you would have tried that before you add it to the environment variable, it would not work because it's not in your environment. It's not in the path variable. You need to have it in the path variable. So in the future, if you want to start any program by its name, make sure you add it to that path. Make sure you add the path to that variable called path, and you can just use the name of that program. Okay, so that's a little trick there for you guys. So I'm gonna close it down, but before I close it down, let me open another window here. Remember, this is MongoD right here. You can see it on top, and it's on because it has a little cursor blinking here. So I need to open another window here, another command prompt to access the shell, because I can't do it on the same screen. So I'm going to open another window, and I'm going to type in Mongo, enter. You see, now this greater than symbol on the cursor signifies that I am inside the shell, the program, and now I can play around with the database. So if I do show DBS, that's a command for MongoDB, shell, enter, you can see my databases. Okay, super simple. Now to get out, Control C, sometimes you have to press it twice, Control C again, and it's out of there. I'm gonna close it down, and right here, this is the MongoDB, this is the server. I'm gonna do Control C and Control C again to get out. Okay, I'm gonna shut it down. Let's go to command prompt again. And I'm gonna do command MongoDB to turn it on. And I'm gonna go to open another window. And I'm gonna do Mongo. Okay, these are the 2 steps to get to the Mongo shell. Super simple, right? I wanted you to know. Control C and Control C to turn it off. Control C and Control C to turn it off. All right? Perfect. So now you know how to install and use MongoDB through the shell and even through the user interface in a Windows operating system. Isn't that awesome, guys? Was that easy? Right? I thought so. If you have any issues, just post it in the discussions and we are going to help you out. See you in the next lecture, guys. Take care.